My neighbor takes up all the parking spaces on the street, so I made friends with the birds. Last month I moved into this quiet little street where everyone's supposed to get one spot in front of their house. Seemed fair enough. Then I met Ronnie. This guy's got 8 trucks parked on our street. 8. Not just one big work truck, but all different sizes scattered everywhere like he's running a used car lot. Half of them don't even move for weeks. The worst part is he parks his massive F-350 right in front of my house where I'm supposed to park. First week I politely knocked on his door. Big mistake. Ronnie opens up wearing a tank top covered in motor oil and just stares at me like I'm speaking Chinese. I explain the parking situation and he goes, "It's a public street, buddy," and slams the door in my face. Things got worse fast. This guy started letting his pit bull Jake use my front yard as his personal bathroom. Not just quick business either. Jake would take his sweet time doing his thing while making eye contact with me through my window. Then Ronnie started cutting through my yard on his dirt bike when he was too lazy to use the actual street. One morning I'm drinking coffee and watching Jake drop a massive load right next to my mailbox when Ronnie just waves at me from his porch like it's totally normal. That's when I snapped. I'd always noticed this family of crows hanging around the big oak tree across the street. Smart birds, crows. They remember faces and can hold grudges for years. Perfect. Started with leftover bacon from breakfast. Just scattered some pieces under the tree where they like to hang out. Next day they were waiting for me. Added some peanuts, then started bringing them pizza crusts and french fries. Within 2 weeks, these crows knew my morning routine better than my own mother. The magic really started when I discovered their favorite treat, scrambled eggs. Turns out crows go absolutely crazy for eggs. Who knew? I'd cook up extra every morning and toss them right under that oak tree. Now here's where it gets beautiful. Crows are creatures of habit, and they also communicate with their whole extended family. Soon I had 6 crows showing up every morning around 7, which is exactly when Ronnie stumbles out to his truck for work. These birds figured out the routine real quick. They'd perch in the tree branches hanging directly over where all his trucks were parked. And crows, well, they produce a lot of waste. Like, an impressive amount. First time Ronnie came out to find his shiny black F-350 completely covered in white bird droppings, he lost it. Started yelling at the sky and throwing rocks at the tree. The crows just stared down at him like he was providing entertainment. He tried washing his truck every morning, but that just became part of our routine. Crows would wait until he finished cleaning, then immediately start their bombing run. It was like watching a nature documentary about psychological warfare. The best part? These birds are smart enough to only target his vehicles. My little Honda in the driveway stays completely clean. They somehow figured out which cars belong to the nice guy with the eggs and which belong to the jerk with the attitude. Ronnie tried everything. Bought one of those fake owl decoys from Home Depot. The crows knocked it over the first day and took turns perching on its head. He got an air horn and would blast it every morning, but that just made him the neighborhood's most hated guy instead of me. Then he escalated. Started parking right up against my mailbox so I couldn't get my mail without squeezing between his bumper and the post. That's when I introduced my crow friends to their new favorite spot, the tree branch directly above where he parks his truck. Last week, Ronnie finally cracked. Came stomping over while I was feeding the birds and started screaming about how I was training them to attack his property. I just smiled and said, "They're wild birds, Ronnie. Can't control nature." He threatened to call animal control, which was hilarious because what are they gonna do? Arrest a bunch of crows for pooping? The birds just sat there watching him have his meltdown like they were judging his life choices.